Hello, everybody. My name is Kathie J. Thanks so much for joining us today. Today, I want to talk to you about hunger, food insecurity. What is the difference? And I want to talk to you about hunger here in Colorado counties. Every county in Colorado is different, but there are some, well, actually, they all need help. But we are going to focus today on Community Food Share, which is located up in the Broomfield, Boulder County areas. Joining me today, the CEO, everybody. I knew her when. Kim Silva of
Yay.
Community Food Share. Thank you for being here.
So great to see you.
It's always good to see you.
I know. It's fun.
You have been helping people in the Denver community and surrounding areas with food insecurity and hunger. You've been fighting it, I feel, for over 2 decades.
Yes.
You personally.
Yes. So I started in food banking in 1996.
3 decades.
Yeah, so almost 3 decades, which is very hard to believe.
Let's not talk about that. But you're the best person to be doing this, Kim, to be helping out. I mean, You've seen it all. You've come up with amazing programs over the years. Let's talk about Community Food Share and how they started and why you love them so much.
Well, I just love Community Food Share. So it's a Feeding America food bank that covers Boulder and Broomfield counties. And it's really hard to think about that in Boulder and Broomfield counties that there's food insecurity.
Yeah, right. Because they're some of the wealthiest counties. Or
yes.
You think of so they have some of the wealthiest residents.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So you don't really think about that. But Community Food Share started over 41 years ago by the community, thus Community Food Share. EFA, who is one of our partner agencies, saw an extensive need within the community and said, hey, we need a food bank here, someone who can actually help get food procured and distributed to all of the thousands of individuals who are food insecure. So, 41, 42 years later, here we are still fighting the good fight. And it's such a great community to be in.
Well, I want to kind of go in and break a lot of that down, that what you just said, Kim. So Kim is here. She's the CEO of Community Food Share. So Community Food Share up there in the Boulder and Broomfield areas, let's first start with, what is the difference between hunger and food insecurity?
That is a great question. So I'm going to have you do a little exercise with me.
Okay.
So try to think of a time, whether it's because you were working late or you had to pick up your kids, and you just
I was starving,
You were
Kim.
starving.
I was starving.
Where we say, I am starving.
I have kids. I have little kids. I hear it all the time.
Yes.
Right.
That is hunger, the physical response you get to not having food in your system.
Okay.
So when we say we're starving, that is hunger hitting us.
Yes.
Now, food insecurity is not having the resources available to feed that physical need.
It's the I'm starving and wow, I'm going to deal with this for the next until I can find food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, and then I always say, imagine the fact that if you're a mom, just worked a really hard day, you're hungry, and you have kids.
Yeah.
And your resources are slim.
Yeah.
So you make the decision, I'm going to give the food to my children.
Yes.
And keep it so I have water.
Yes,
and that's what I'm going to have tonight. Right.
And the problem with that, and we know, if someone is suffering from not getting the right food, the right nutrition, it affects their sleep. It affects their when they go to work. It affects their, everything is surrounded around what we're putting in our body to fuel us.
And especially, too, what you don't think of is the mental stress it takes. So all of a sudden, you're now hungry, and now you have a pit in your stomach, and you're anxious, and you don't know where you're going to get your next meal or how you're going to feed your family. And your mind starts to go into despair.
And then you're up all night.
And then you're up all night, yes.
Now you're getting an ulcer.
Yes.
And you don't have money for insurance. It does lead into everything. It's a vicious circle. Food insecurity. When I think about, food banks, I think about, you might think inner city. Let's go back to thinking about the people that were asking for help up here in the Broomfield and Boulder areas.
Yes.
It is one of the wealthiest counties with some of the wealthiest people, but at the same time, blue collar people still work at the grocery stores. They're still your children's friends and families, right? I mean, these are the people we're talking about, middle class families.
Yes. I always say when people talk about those who are food insecure, they say them. Mm-hmm. So there's not a them, there's an us. Because what we saw during the pandemic is that one like how many individuals here live paycheck to paycheck? Yes.
I mean, like everybody.
Everybody
I read the
does.
stats all the time on the air. Yes.
Yes. So one paycheck, you have it planned out to the exact last dollar.
Yes. Please don't go out water heater.
Yes.
Please don't go out breaks. Please don't go out. We're all praying
and so
that
I say individuals who use food banks and food pantries are us.
Yeah.
They're individuals who are just one medication, one ankle break away from having to utilize some food services. And the reason, especially in Boulder and Broomfield County, is, the cost of Colorado living here is expensive.
Yeah.
But in Boulder and Broomfield County, it is so expensive.
It's so expensive I can't go there.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
but I know so many people that have grown up there.
Yes.
And who am I to say, you can't live there close to where you work or where your kids are going to school. So I understand all of that. There are people people still have to work in places like Aspen, they live in Carbondale. You still have to help these people and these families that are trying to survive.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. The Center on Law and Policy has a study called the Self-Sufficiency Standard.
Okay.
So they figure out by county how much you would need to make to actually survive.
$1 million in Boulder County.
Pretty much. But for if you had two adults, a preschooler and somebody in grade school, you would need to make $107,000 to be able to just meet your basic needs.
And that's
without asking for any support.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
And that's why you have so many people come into the community food share.
Yes.
Yes. So everybody, let's get past putting a face on this and realize the face is everyone around you. And you could even know that more because of how many programs use community food share. So let's talk about all of the everyone that's coming to you guys for food. Talk about them.
Well, we have different ways that we get our food out into the community. Our biggest is our food pantry network. So we work with 43 partner agencies, all from family resource centers to religious institutions to senior centers, who are directly in contact with those who need food on a day-to-day basis. And then we also run our own programs. So we have an on-site food pantry, and that is open 3 days a week. We do mobile pantries where we take food in a truck, bring it out to neighborhoods where either there is no food pantry or food pantries cannot handle that need.
Wow.
We have a Blue Spruce program, so we do direct service of delivery to seniors in need of food assistance.
You need that. The elderly people, I'm praying for my Meals on Wheels or whatever to be showing up. Like the fact that you're aware and county, I'm sure Boulder County, they have some older residents for sure over there. I really wanted to talk again about the programs. You said 43. So you're talking about like the religious, the church pantry and the women's pantry for this and all those 43 of them are coming to you guys already.
Yes, for food.
So is it better for people to donate there individually or just donate to you and you can filter it to all these people?
Yeah, when individuals donate either food funds to community food share, we split that and share that with the 43 partner agencies in which
nice.
We work with. And our main goal is to make sure that those individual organizations have the food they need to help those individuals who are coming because, you may be going to a family resource center and food is one aspect of what they do. They also are doing things like mental health and rental assistance. And so to be a partner of ours, you have to be a nonprofit yourself, but food doesn't have to be your main program. You can have other programs, but food is a supplement to what's happening.
Yeah.
And so I always say we're like the hunter-gatherers.
I love that. Yeah, you are. But speaking of hunter-gatherers, community food share, you guys do care about keeping things fresh and nutrition and what goes out.
Yes. Yeah. So for us, nutrition is very, very important for our community.
Yeah.
So we make sure that over 70% of what we provide is either fresh produce, dairy, or proteins.
That's great.
Yeah. And we actually even have our own farm.
I was going to say, you guys probably have some help with the farmers over on that side of town,
well,
right?
We have great farmers who help us out.
Awesome.
And then we have a great individual who donated land. So we actually have a farmer on staff full time.
That's great.
I believe Katie's working on our farm plans right now and starting the planting I don't really know this. I'm from New Jersey, but there's a crop plan and then you decide when that's going in. But
sure, Kim. Yes. Tell her the details. She'll be fine with it.
But I mean, it's such great stuff. I mean, we're able to ask individuals coming through our door, like, what would you like to see? And so we have peppers and
I love that.
Yes.
Right. Why, things that help us cook, that make the
Right.
meals go farther.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So Kim De Silva is joining us today. She's the CEO of Community Food Share. Community Food Share does so much. 43 organizations come to you guys for help and assistance with their own programs and food. You guys are really good at making food stretch.
Yes.
On your website and stuff, it says something like $1 for $5. What is? Explain that.
$1 equals $5 worth of groceries.
How do you do this?
Yeah, so we do it.
Tell me. All of us moms are like, please tell me.
How do you
How
do
do you
this?
stretch it?
Well, and for Community Food Share and for other food banks across the country, the main thing is that we can leverage dollars to bring more food in. So we use a lot of volunteers.
Gotcha.
So we have volunteers who come in and do the work of about 20 full-time employees for us. We have local farms. We have local retailers. We have individuals on a national basis who ship food to us. So if you go to a grocery store and just think about it, that you might purchase a thing of peanut butter for $3.
Right.
We can get that same peanut butter for 50 cents.
Okay.
So it's really about stretching those dollars because we can get it in a bulk load.
I know.
and
You
then
got some
bring it
savvy
out.
shoppers. No,
We
I'm
do.
down. I'm down.
Well, we have
I'm looking at one that's right behind you.
Yes,
She's a great
yes.
shopper. I know it.
She is really good.
So you have amazing programs. It sounds like you have great help, but there's still people that are in need.
Yes.
So let's talk about what people can do. What do you need from us?
Well, for Community Food Share, the most important thing are donations of money.
Money.
Because money goes farther than anything else
Yes.
when it comes to feeding the communities. So we have great programs. And people always think like, well, I don't have $1,000 to give a nonprofit.
Right. You don't need that.
Yes.
You don't, right.
Yes.
What are you trying to win a trip on their
Right.
charity night? You don't need to do that.
Yes.
These smaller amounts.
It
Smaller
is smaller
things.
amounts
Yes.
because 50% of our funding comes from individuals who give $10, $25, $30.
Love that.
And we have this great program, the Sustainer program, our 303 program, where individuals can sign up and give $5 a month. And then that adds up by the end of and you don't even miss it.
Yes, let's talk about that really fast. So
Yes.
if you do live in Boulder, Broomfield County, and you are one of the people that we're like, hey, you might have a little more, this is a great way to help people. Like you said,
Yep.
you have to have about an average of 107,000 to be able to
Yes.
nice to live in that area. And think about everyone that works at the local grocery store. I think the average income is around 50,
Yes.
60 in there. So think about that. If they're not lucky enough to have a spouse that shares their income,
Yes.
just think about all the people around you. If it's nothing for you, for $5, $10 to come out every month, and you get to say, I know I'm helping these people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you do a nice automatic deduct program.
We do. We make it as
comes out.
easy as possible.
Yes, yeah, obviously. Yes, you do. And you know what, Kim, I want to say one more time, like during COVID, I ended up going to I knew of a church that was giving out hot meals.
Yes.
And I'd lost my job.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to cook and stuff. And so when I went to get the hot meals, they also gave me groceries. And I'd never been anyone that had been handed a bag of groceries.
Yeah.
And so I immediately was like, no, I came for the food. You can keep the groceries for the next person. But like, I'm getting a little teary-eyed thinking about when you get a gift, and I knew I needed it.
Yes.
I looked in there and saw eggs. I looked in there and saw something that I knew my daughters would eat. And there's something as a parent that you just can't deny.
Yeah.
And so to know that people can do that you will never meet means the world to somebody that has pride and is accepting a donation.
Yeah. I mean, that is a great example of the fact is that everybody is worthy of help. So for someone to think that, and that's the great thing about our community is everybody is always thinking about other people.
Yeah.
You know, one of the greatest things that I love about working where I do is that one thing that our country is lacking is compassion, empathy, working together toward a common goal.
Yeah.
And when you come together into a food bank, a food pantry, and see all of the community members who come together to make sure that each person is cared for, It is such a wonderful feeling. And it is a feeling that you need in life to give you hope to keep going forward, to know this is a temporary situation. And there are people here for me, whether they know me or not.
Yep.
I am worthy, I belong, and I am here.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You get to close it up, Kim. So if you'd like to donate, if you'd like to volunteer and be a part of Community Food Share, you heard her. They have volunteers that do the work of 20 full-time employees. Go to www.communityfoodshare.org.
Yes.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Just love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too. Thank you to all the hard workers, everybody. Again, www.communityfoodshare.org. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye, guys.
Kathie J.